Always welcome to, always a great experience to see you and be seen and have our little chit chat about the events of the day and the like. Brian's Coffee, Spiritual Bean Coffee, best organic coffee there is. He makes it. I've seen him make it himself. It's small, it's tiny batches. He'll send it to you. He's the man. I also have some amazing information about the LifeWave product from one of our people. She did a blood test before and after. She started using X39 and the like. Let me just throw this caption up for a minute. And it had amazing results on her blood. I mean, pictures. I have pictures. So yeah, I'll do that soon. But also, I just want to say that there's a special now. If you order two X39, you get an X49 free. That's whether you've been a regular purchaser or not. It's still Sunday, so you can get two X39 patches and a free X49 for like 200 bucks. That's a pretty good deal. Just to let you know. Gosh, I want to get into the news. I just want to show you this because it's astonishing. So we have a friend on the channel, a woman from who lives close to me, called us up. She called Daniela. She wanted to sign up. Daniela signed her up. I don't remember what it was, but I told her, I said, we're so happy to get to talk to somebody who's on the channel. And so we just kind of became friends. And she told me that where she lives, which is not that far from me, it's south of me a bit towards Phoenix. She said they were spraying all kinds of weird stuff with the chemtrails, and she had her blood tested. And let me just show you what it looked like, and then I'll get to some interesting facets of the news. But I think this is really worth thinking about and knowing about with knowing what the chemtrails. And by the way, today there were no chemtrails. There were big fluffy clouds. My solar inverter, which deals with the situation, did not know how to cope. There were like big fluffy clouds. My inverter kept shutting down for no reason. Could this be the day that everything's about to go down? They're saying that tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., the banks will all be switching over to XRP. They're talking about YouTube having problems. Could this be while we're waiting for something to happen? Could it be that everything's already happened and then one day we're going to wake up? What?
Like you're sitting on my sweater.
Oh, I'm sorry. One day we're going to wake up and the world will be completely transformed. I mean, it already has been. The world has been completely transformed. We are not the same people. I'm going to go into this a little bit because I want to talk about the idea. And this is I'll go back to the pictures, but I want to talk about the idea that when it really hits you, and it has to hit each of us in a different way, and I think you might be feeling a little bit like me, which is that I have become used to the drama and turmoil and fear and pressure and the kind of worry mind that drives you nuts. And then for the last really couple of years, it's been turning off, and I don't even remember what it's like to live in that mindset. I'm cut off from panic. I'm cut off from fear. I'm living the dream. But the interesting thing, and I'm going to circle around to this. The interesting thing is that a large part of my day goes by when I think to myself, there's something missing. This, I'm just like, I haven't really consciously made the leap forward into the new world. I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm still waiting for the matrix to come crashing through my peaceful, beautiful reality and saying, "Okay, it's over, man. You had your fun." The and what I'm just warning people that when it comes, when suddenly you are wealthy beyond your wildest dreams, you don't have to worry about money anymore. You don't have to do a stupid, humiliating job day after day. You don't have to worry about your car payments. You don't have to worry about your health. You're just set. That when that happens, there's going to be a period, in my opinion, and this is just based on my experience, a transformative period where you just be like, there's something missing here. I don't know I got it all. I don't have to worry about money anymore. I don't have to go to my stupid job. My relationships are really improved because everyone has sort of ascended, and nobody's worrying about stupid stuff anymore, and the drama is out of our lives, and we're living like a second childhood. It's just everything is, and really a second childhood when you think about it. When you're a child, you don't have to worry about, will I be able to pay for dinner. I mean, most people don't. I certainly didn't. I didn't have the feeling. I mean, I heard my father talking. They were always worried about money, so I had I naturally inherited this kind of fear that we weren't gonna make it. And my father was a dentist, but he still, he wasn't a really sharp businessman. He was a great dentist. But I'm just saying that for myself, that I feel I've really made incredible changes in my life. I have a wonderful relationship. I live in a kind of place that I've always wanted to live in. I'm doing exactly what I want to do during the day. Today I took a day off because it was so cold out. We had a big storm last night. It was so cold, like I couldn't do my usual things. I did get out, and I had to fix my water trailer because it took a nosedive. The wind pushed it over, and I had to empty the tank first and then jack it up and that kind of thing. And I did a few other things. I think the guys at the auto mechanics told me kind of a standing joke that I didn't get, but they said that if you live on back roads, you
It's
better
not a
check.
joke.
What?
It's not a
It
joke.
wasn't a joke.
No.
I think they were pulling my leg. You guys can tell me if they were, but they said to me, "You better check your lug nuts every once in a while because with all that bouncing around you do on those dirt roads, your tires are going to get like I mean, I don't know if they were kidding me or not, but I checked my lug nuts and they were fine. Okay, that's where I want to go with this video. I want to talk about the feeling of loss, the feeling of emptiness that I experience almost every day. I haven't, I'm starting to realize I have to push myself into, I have to consciously force myself to be grateful and realize that I got what I wanted, and and but I need to supply my own feeling of joy. I can't, I'm waiting for it to just joy and acknowledgement that everything is okay. I'm just not used. I'm just, I'm projecting that probably you are also not used to just everything's okay. It's like, what am I supposed? You feel like something's missing. I mean, I really, everything is okay for me. Sometimes we don't have all the money. With the cash flow isn't to our liking. We want to go out and buy stuff, and we have to wait a little while. But generally, we're living the life. But I still have this like nagging feeling at the back of my mind that there's something missing here. And I think what it is the angst, the worry, the fear, the turmoil, the drama. Also, it helps for us to live. We don't, like when we go to the city periodically, there's a totally different vibe. It's not a bad vibe, but there's a kind of a buzz to it that I'm not used to. I'm just like, let's get out of the city. Let's go back home now. But we have to accomplish certain tasks. Okay, so I want you to just think about that. Is there something missing, or how do we make the transition from this bombardment of the matrix to complete freedom? Because it could happen any day now. It could happen tomorrow. They're saying at 6 a.m., everything's going to switch over to XRP. XRP will go to the roof. I'll never have to worry about money again. And there are no chemtrails today. Maybe there'll be no chemtrails ever again. Maybe something happened. That's how close we are to achieving the goal of freedom from the matrix, freedom to live, freedom to pursue happiness, and live a life of like in the Republic, just life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Just have a good time. Just build your families, build your relationships, build your houses. You'll have, I'll have plenty of material. I mean, I have plenty of material, but when money is not an object, it'll just be that much easier. And it's not just from the XRP. It's not just for XRP holders. The whole monetary system will be completely transformed. You will not have to worry about making money. That whole thing was just an illusion to control you, to control your time, to keep you out of trouble, to keep you from looking behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz. Pepe Orsini, we're seeing his face. That means they're gone. They're gone. They're toast. The whole Epstein thing is coming down around them. I saw an interesting video. I'll get back to it, but I just want to show you. Since I just want to show you because this is amazing. So a friend of the channel, somebody who's on the channel, and has been following this thought stream for a couple of years, a very wonderful, nice person. She called me. She called Daniela, and she said, I want some patches. So we said fine, and we worked it out. I think we were a little bit newbie to the thing. I mean, that's why we're kind of recommending call Dr. Stacy. She's quick, but we're learning. You could call Daniela, and she'll sign you up. But this, when I show you what I'm going to show you, you will understand why you should run out and get some right away. Okay. So she came to us, this nice woman. I'm not going to say her name, but this nice woman came to us, very, lovely person, lives close to us, understands what it's like to live away from the city. And she said, I get my blood. I have a friend who's a professional, and she tests people's bloods. She'll test your blood, and she'll take pictures of it. And actually, I'm only showing you one picture, but I have about, let's say, 15 of before and 15 of after. I'm just showing you some representative pictures. So before she started with the X39, let's see if I can. Yeah, this is what her blood looked like. Okay, you see this, like these dark spaces and these weird fibrous things in your blood. Blood is supposed to be liquid, right? This is before she took, and she said the chemtrails have been horrendous by her. Okay, let me show you another picture before. Let's see, that was that one. And here's another one. This is before she started taking the X39, before she started patching, before she put this non-transdermal, puts nothing in your body, right? It just reflects your own light. But we are beings of light. So this is the before picture, right? She called me today to thank me. She says, I just want to express gratitude. This is before. This is before she got the patches. This is what her blood looked like under a microscope. Now let's look at what it looks like now. That's what it looks like now. It's completely different. That's her blood, a picture of her blood after taking the X39. I mean, if you got the jab, if you live with chemtrails, which we all do, it would probably benefit you to get some of this X39, X49, glutathione patches, EOM. These are the patches that we use every day. SP6 if you have endocrine issues. But this is absolutely amazing. Let me show you one other picture of after. This is another picture of her blood after getting the let's see, was that the same one? Yeah, here's a little less resolved, but you could see the cells are beautiful. They're beautiful and they're clear. They're not brown. This is after using the X39. And I talked to Dr. Stacy about it. She says, "Oh yeah, under the microscope you can see this. You can see this kind of change." So I'm just astonished, and I would encourage people to call Dr. Stacy, call us, but get some. Get the special. Get two sleeves for the regular price and a free sleeve of X49, and start using it. Clear up your blood, clean up your DNA, get ready for the Great Awakening, because it could happen at any moment. And how are the normies going to feel? I don't know. I mean, they're going through a lot right now, I would expect. I mean, I see a lot of angry people on X, like just saying like, we can't believe what's going down. So if you can't see this little clip, a lot of people complain that I'm not posting the contact information. Call Dr. Stacy, 812-455-6897, or text her at 812-455-6897. Or you could send her an email at stacyholwiger@gmail.com. It's STICIHOLWEGER@gmail.com. She'll be happy to talk to you. Or you could sign up. The website's a little bit, it's not too bad, but it's not so great. And or you could just call Daniela, or one of our brand partners like Norman or Grant. We post their information on the Lifestyle channel on Thursday. Tomorrow I'll be doing a broadcast with John Dowling. I don't know if he publishes it right away. He does it on Zoom, and then he records it, and then he puts it up. I don't know how long it takes him, but how long was she patched? She was patched a few days.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks after she got that test. 2 weeks. And Dr. Stacy said that's normal. She says they can do this kind of test. It is. Think of what we're getting with the chemtrails. Let's hope that, I mean, like I said, I don't see any chemtrails today. And the whole thing could just end on a dime. This whole evil thing, it probably already has ended. It's just that we don't know about it yet. But I thought that was just astonishing information to see the pictures, the tests we endure in life, that we overcome, allow us to give testimony for to help the Creator give us to overcome them. Yeah. You always have such wise things to say, Pappy. I love it. Our needs met. Yeah. Utah here, been with you for years. Thank you. Well, thank you, Enos Hot. I'm so glad that you finally, you don't know how much it means to me, because I don't have a lot of ego invested in this. I just do this. But it touches my heart when somebody tells me that I made a difference in their life because I'm just dedicated to this. I don't know why. I feel a little bit sorry for Daniela because she is like kind of robbed a little bit of a fully attentive mate because I'm every night I'm online, and it's difficult. But I just yeah, but it touches me anyway. Thank you, Enos Hot. So yeah, interesting. I'm feeling it also, readjusting my mind. So you feel it also, Linda? If all our worries are taken care of and the struggles cease, then the big worry would be how to make your life really meaningful and fulfilled. Yes, and that's what Elon said. He said you're all going to have a guaranteed income. Money is not going to be the problem. The problem is what do we do with ourselves? And that's why I've been pushing for years for people to just get out of the matrix and do what you got to do. But the sooner you do it, the easier the transformation process will be. I see a lot of people online. They're discouraged. They're talking about their lives have been robbed. I'm agree with Pappy that it's all an opportunity. It's been training for us. But I'm posting. Join the Republic. It's never too late to have a happy childhood, and it's not. It's never too late to have a great life. You my mom is she's 95, man, and she's like all the people in my active living, they're all on walkers, she says, but she says, I like to help them. She likes to help people, and that's a great way to live a life is just being there for others. And there's so many great things you can do with your life. growing growing I mean, I just think of my life, like you know growing trees, growing things, being part of a community, hoping that once I get established in terms of the housing structure where I can have guests, maybe people will come and learn how to live off grid. It's really not hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not like you just move in someplace and you got your hot showers. I mean, everything is but in the process of setting it up, you come to really understand the system, so that if you ever did have, like, if you have a problem with your shower, you got to call a plumber. If I have a problem with my shower, I'm like, okay, well, I designed the shower. I got the hot water heater. I supply the water. I got a pump for my well, and I know the whole system pretty well. It's kind of nice in retrospect. I mean, it's been hard in the sense that I had to learn a lot of new skills, but I like doing the work. I really it's really fun to do stuff. Yeah, very different watching the Schumann resonance. Yeah, you're helping us right now. Well, thank you so much. But I just want to alert people because this is what I like to share, what I am experiencing, and I am experiencing it hits me at many times through the day. I'm thinking like there's something missing here. What there's like I feel like there's somebody I'm supposed to call or take care of some emergency situation or something, because for like about 65 years of my life, it was just one emergency after another. That's how the creeps have this place set up. The matrix is set up. That's why when I go down to the city and I go to a place and they tell me, we can't see you. You don't have an appointment. I'm like, what? I'm like, you mean you guys still live in the matrix where you have these stupid rules that you have to follow? I'm like, it can't be that hard to adjust the schedule. I mean, for two other people who did it doesn't make sense to me anymore because I don't live in the matrix. I'm just like, that's matrix, because I know the difference, because I don't generally live in the matrix. We do what we want when we want, and it's not. like we sit around eating bonbons all day. It's the time is precious for us. We barely, when we talk in the morning about what we want to accomplish, like today we had many different things that we didn't accomplish, but however we did accomplish quite a few things, and in the process of the day. So I'm just warning people that we all feel like I just want to get there already, and that's been the general consensus of us, really, of this community. It's like we want to hear the EBS. We just want to hear it's over. It's time to play. It's time to live. It's time to live life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But I just want to warn people that there could be, it feels to me like kind of an emptiness, kind of like I just feel like I'm supposed to call somebody. There's got to be some kind of emergency that I'm not addressing, and it feels like there's something missing, but it's not missing. It's not. There's nobody I have to call. I'm living a peaceful life. Everything is fine. I got food in the freezer. We have our diets down. When we first moved up here, I was panicking that like I wouldn't be able to take care of Daniela the way, because she's very fussy about what she eats because she has eczema, and she's very careful. And I just felt like there's no way I'm going to be able to cater to the way I did in New York City. One week she wanted chicken, one week she wanted beef, and I had to go through a real transition to macabre, to receive the idea of living a more carnivore based diet. I had to, like, what you eat? You eat red meat every day? It just, what about being a vegetarian? It's just thrown out the window. All my no more kale. We haven't had kale in years. She doesn't approve of kale. I don't know why, but I'm like, okay, well, we won't eat kale. I know in Orthodox circles as well, they don't eat much kale because kale is very hard to debug. The little bugs can hide everywhere because it's so gnarly. But the idea, I've said this before, I was at a men's gathering. One of Sean, the songwriter, my producer friend, we used to do these men's gatherings. I used to help him produce these. I just helped. I was just a helper. And one day we had a big men's gathering. We had men that we didn't really know. We never met before. And I was just telling the guys, we it started to drizzle a little bit, and we went inside a big tent. There must have been 100 guys, and some reason I was speaking, and I said, "Look at this, man. We got all these guys, and we're all just getting along. This is a transformation back into paradise. This is really, we're experiencing paradise right now." And within minutes, a fist fight broke out because we haven't been conditioned. We haven't been properly prepared to accept a state of calm, a state of I shall not lack. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not lack. I got everything, and I'm okay. And I don't feel like something like fear and worry and needing to do something is can feel like a real lack. So I'm just saying for myself, I need to push through that feeling. I need, because it's coming more and more as our life becomes more and more just beautiful, just beautiful. We have it all. We have a well now. We don't have to schlep water. We have it all. We're not, we don't have oodles of finances, but we've made a few investments, and we have the land. We have a place to live. We have a truck. We now have one, two, three, four, like, buildings in the making. We have a garden. a an enclosed garden, and oh, we have a greenhouse down the way, down about down in the ridge. We have a little enclosure for our storage tank, for our water storage tank, and we have a well house, and we have lots of wood up here, and I'm maybe 2 days when I get to work again when it's not so cold, 2 or 3 days away from, or maybe a week away from finishing the second floor, or at least getting it getting it done, the second floor, and then we'll stick on a roof on the back of the house, and then we can start thinking about pulling out the RV. So we've made tremendous strides in the last couple of years being up here, but I'm just because what I feel like what I go through, you're probably going through at the same time, because that's just the nature of reality, and we're at the cusp. We're pushing into, we're boldly going where no man has gone before. This is totally uncharted, in my opinion. I mean, maybe we did this in other lifetimes, but I think we're going back to Tartaria. We're going back to the future. We're going back to free energy, unlimited health, unlimited resources, replicators that can make whatever you want. You want to, I had eggs and vegetables. I made a quick stir fry because I wanted to have a second meal. We shared a small steak about 4 o'clock. I ate my first meal at 12ish. I had some fruit, but this is how we live now. So we can go without food for for as long as we need to. We don't. In other words, our life isn't based on, oh my gosh, I've got to get my donut in the morning or this. It's just like, okay, now we do replace that with, we put on our patches. I put on 4 patches every day. I put on glutathione, X39, X49, and Eon now for I have a little bit of back pain. And then there is a supplement that I don't want to discuss on this channel, but I have already discussed it on the other channel, on the lifestyle channel. And if you're interested in that product, you would order it through Norman, the way you order it through Dr. Stacy. But that's a product that people in the United States don't know about, but it's used in Europe and in Mexico. It's an old product, an oldie but a goodie, that basically helps to produce a higher level of glutathione. It gives you the precursors for producing your own glutathione, which is an antioxidant, which must help, as well as the patches, with cleaning up your blood and straightening out your DNA and a lot of cool things. All right, so let me now go into the thought stream, but it really touches me to know that I'm helping someone. Doesn't look like a yid anymore. Looks more like Moses. Yeah, well, Moses was the original yid. Moses was the granddaddy of them all. I see loads of kind, beautiful people everywhere. Yeah, that's because you are kind and beautiful, Nancy. You see what you think. If you're thinking about, damn, these people, they're always conning me, this is the kind of people you're going to attract. But if you're thinking like, man, I just love these people, you're gonna I I used to work in the worst neighborhoods in Brooklyn. People with white skin would not go into these neighborhoods. And I was just like, hey man, these are my peeps. I don't have a problem. I was teaching the kids, and I never had a problem. Years earlier, when I was involved with like drugs and stuff, and I was scared, I used to get mugged all the time. But when it's just your attitude. I tell the story of my neighbor who's afraid of snakes, that he sees snakes all the time. We've seen a few little snakes. I've only seen 2 poisonous snakes since I got here, and one of them was just laying there like, yeah. It's a nice day. The sun is shining. What's up with you, brother? And it's just like, just during the daylight, I don't think they're so super resilient. But anyway, we're at an elevation where I don't think that anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But so you attract to you what you're thinking about. So if you're thinking about, I really like people. I'm working for the republic. I then that's the kind of people that you're going to attract. That's why I get so freaked out when I deal with somebody who says, "Oh, you can't do that." And I was like, "Whoa, where did you come from?" That's an outlier for me. I don't generally get that. I'm just like, we just go through life with not a lot of ups and downs. Just like, okay, let's get this done. We're people with a purpose, and I think once you get your purpose down, like Viktor Frankl said, the people who survived the Holocaust were the ones who had a sense of purpose. They had something they had to get back to. If you didn't have a sense of purpose, you didn't make it. Has anyone seen the commercial for Ensure health drink? There's a guy in the commercial who looks like Ellie's twin. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Um, your hair is getting darker and nicer. You're aging in reverse. I think that's the patches. They say that a lot of the patches are Y age. Y age with a Y and then age. But glutathione, what are the YH patches? Glutathione, Eon, and I think carnosine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
carnitine.
carnosine, and those are a little bit less expensive than the X49 and X39. What about SP6? What's the price on that?
Si- Cheap too.
69. Yeah, so the SP6, the one for your endocrine system, is a little bit less pricey. The X39, X41, X49, those are the two expensive patches, but they are worth it, man. I mean, in my opinion, they reset your stem cells. My hair's a little bit thinner, but um, I'm I work hard. I work, the physical work. I'm sure a young man would not a young man who wasn't accustomed to this kind of life would be, I'm not doing that. I can't. No, I could sit there with a shovel for an hour and be digging stuff and fill my wheelbarrow up 10 times. And today I had to get my trailer with the water. I have a 270-gallon water container on top of my little army trailer, and it took a nosedive in the wind. The wind pushed it out. We heard this big clunking outside, and yeah, I had to wait till the water was out, and then I had to jack it up. It was a big project, but we did it, even in the cold. Seriously, check it out. Your hair looks good. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. But it's a good life, and it's never too late to have a happy childhood. It's never too late. I mean, I'm living with a beautiful young woman. It's just, you know, all my life I really struggled with those issues because I have a kind of a high level of need in that area. Not so much at my age now, but um it's always been a big issue. It's really taken a tremendous amount of my consciousness in the last, like, for the last 65 years. It was just an overriding thought. I don't know if other people have that, but it's a lot easier now that it's not the number one thing that I think about. Maybe it's just that I finally found something that I care about, and a purpose, and it's but on the other hand, I think that, finding a partner and learning how to express yourself with that partner, learning how to you know um I'm a tantric. I study tantra. It's always been an interest of mine throughout my life. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's inherently evil the way the religions are just like, I don't know. I don't want to go. I'm not going down that road. Um, But yeah, so let me go to the thought stream. Let's look for a little bit. Okay, so how do I make this bigger? I can make it a little bit bigger. So, two realities are playing out right now, one built on fear, one built on truth. The strongest souls aren't panicking, they're preparing to flourish in any outcome. That's a beautiful. I love this Zachary Fisher. He just has a wealth of really beautiful posts daily. He has several posts. It's fully controlled now. The reality is that our weather isn't just modified, it's manufactured and weaponized. Yeah, I was really relieved today not to have to deal with it. This post, so agree. This is about, this is this, uh, I think it's Sirius, right? Sirius B. Yeah, go buy me a drink before you open your mouth, a proper one, heavily fermented with intent. You want what I know you want what I know you pay in stout. That is the deal, always has been. But he talks about just doing things with your hands and how wonderful it is to live that kind of a life. Benefits of sunlight. Can we I can't really see it. Okay. That's the trouble with this system. This was a nice post by our friend Keith 369, who used to come to the channel. I think he probably may still do it. But he says living in expansive dwellings is so important to our mental health. I couldn't agree more. My house, even though it's not finished, I'm just so excited about. We're surrounded by mountains, but inside the house, we're not cut off. We're not in a fortress. We see the mountains all around us. This is the end game for the U.S. government programs to poison the skies, control the money. How do we stop it? We just keep thinking about getting rid of it, and we'll get rid of it. There's so many talented. I responded to this. There's so many talented people with wonderful creative brains and ideas that we will never hear from because they're too busy surviving. There are also so many people who tried and burned out or were forced to give up their passion to concentrate on making enough money to live. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. That was my response to it. I just think it's right there. This is a beautiful. I'm going to play this. I really like this. What he said. Oh, I can't play it. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Okay. Let me go to this. I think this is a beautiful little video. Let's see if we can do this. Right. We'll just start playing it.
Planet Earth gradually turns into the planet Heaven, because heaven doesn't come by way of a location. Heaven comes by way of a consciousness. In other words, heaven comes by way of a change of mind. If everybody starts thinking like Christ, this planet becomes heaven. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Okay. So, to here, let's go. Okay, I don't like to make references to Jesus, but I felt that this was pretty innocent in that respect. That it's not about worshiping some guy or that he died for your sins. It's about you know becoming holy by just like Nancy says, she only sees kind, beautiful people. That's because her mind is trained in that direction. It's all what we make of it, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go back to the. Let's keep scrolling a bit. Okay, so we have that. Let me open this up. Um, yeah, this is another one, kind of the same idea. Let's go back. I'm sorry that it's so cumbersome to play these videos the way they have it set up, but let's listen to this.
because it is so close, and the hardest part is over because you started and then continued one step at a time because you're a winner. Never forget that. You know, times may be hard. That's just a test. It's temporary, and winners like you overcome because winners find a way to make it happen. No matter how long it takes, you will make it happen because you're a superhero with huge mental strength, and because of that, you are unstoppable. It doesn't matter what the obstacles are, you have got what it takes to keep going, to overcome them, and then get the reward of a fantastic future.
That's a beautiful post. I really like that. Let's just keep scrolling. 7 layers of consciousness on Earth right now. And for those of you who are fully awakened, you can clearly see how many are still stuck in the first and second stages. So let's watch this together. Wait, let me I think I have to do this way. Okay, let's start playing it.
But what about yours? First, you live comfortably inside the system. You work. You consume. You believe what you're told and you don't question it. Second, you start to feel that something doesn't fit. Routine feels wrong. News, lies, repetition, they begin to bother you. Third, you question religion, politics, even science. People call you crazy for it. Fourth, you discover manipulation. You see how the system controls minds through fear, food, music. Fifth, you turn inward. You stop blaming others and understand that you create your own reality. Sixth, you learn to control your energy. You realize everything is vibration, and that thoughts shape what you experience. Seventh, you feel gratitude. You understand nothing external can save you, because the power was always inside you, if this resonated with you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Sorry, I can't do this faster, but okay, so let's go back here, and then it's a little bit cumbersome this way, but it's not so bad. Okay, there are just a few more posts that I want to share. This was interesting, but I don't know if I can see it, but it says major outages are hitting the internet right now. And they're talking about YouTube, Google, AWS, Cloudflare, Netflix. They're saying X didn't have that kind of problem, but we'll see. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely stunning. Scientists in Switzerland developed glow in the dark wood using fungus, offering a natural lighting alternative for streets and parks. Is that not just the most beautiful thing you've ever heard? I love that. And then when you okay, so let's go. I think I'm really reaching the top of this. This was an interesting clip. I kind of want to play this, but I think I'm just going to summarize. These guys are saying, and this is so interesting to me. I mean, I never had this thought. Let me just take off the LifeWave thing. Okay, so these guys are saying, how come we have all these mattress companies and they're all in the same neighborhood and nobody ever buys a mattress? So you buy a mattress once every 10 years. So they're saying that maybe maybe these companies are laundering or trafficking, and the same thing with malls. They're saying malls, nobody goes to a mall to buy anything anymore. How come all these malls are still operating? So I don't know. That I thought that was an interesting thought. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Faith takes us, yes, when you find that one person who satisfies both the spiritual and physical, is a wonderful connection. Yeah, and we all should be ready to find that. We shouldn't. I don't think that there's ever a point in your life where, just my opinion, where you should like just turn it off and say it's just never going to happen for me, unless you're incredibly happy being alone, which some people are. Like my mom is pretty happy being alone. I mean, my father was a wonderful man, but he was he was kind of like me. He was kind of high intensity, and he could be he could be anyway. Just a thought, but once we start to connect to the spiritual energies of others, it seems that the need for the physical attraction lessens as we age. Could be, yeah. I suppose so. I mean, you can stimulate each other with internal thinking and doing beautiful things together, building things, sharing a life, sharing and building a quality life and improving things as the time goes on. It's really nice. So I think that's really it. I think the main thing is if you are experiencing any kind of health things, or you just want to stay young, call Dr. Stacy and get some try some patches. Try the YH patches. It's a lot cheaper than than health insurance, a lot cheaper, and probably a lot more effective. If you know the creeps the way we know the creeps, everything that they do medically is doesn't necessarily have an outcome of the kind of outcome that you want. But the patches are amazing. So we appreciate your support with the patches. We intend to keep with it, and we do have another product if you're interested in the lifestyle channel. But I don't really want to mix. I don't want to mix the channels. That's a separate thing. And it goes hand in hand. It's not like one or the other. They work well together. So that's a separate issue. I think we're there. I think it could happen. It could happen at any time. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I look at my crypto, see what's doing, and it's one day you're going to look at your cryptos and it's going to be like, holy moly! It's going to be. I think it's going to be like that. And one day you're going to look outside your window and all the chemtrails will be gone, and they'll be talking about Jasara and yada yada yada. It'll just be, and then you'll be in the promised land. But remember, when the Yidden left Egypt, they were God specifically took away their slave mentality. It's not so let's say it could be very easy to get rid of. It should be very easy. Just say, okay, man, things are great now. So it's great. But I'm just telling you from my personal experiencing, there's a little bit of like trepidation in my mind that it could come back. I don't think it ever will come back into my life. But just be prepared to deal with those kinds of thoughts and just, it's like the demon of doubt that we dealt with for years. The demon of doubt doesn't really bother me so much anymore. It's the lack of the demon of doubt that bothers me now. So, and I'm sure I'm going to get over it. I think what I need to do, remember they talked about the stages. I need to become firmly entrenched in the last stage, which is gratitude. I need to really just keep the gratitude in the forefront of my mind. And I think that will probably drown out this feeling that there's something missing. And I know what's missing. It's the demon of doubt. I don't live in the fear space anymore. And it's a wonderful thing. And I just need to really focus on how grateful I am that it's gone. No more chemtrails. Yeah, I think it could happen. I think it could happen like suddenly. I just heard that bum foods, baked beans, and sardines are superfoods. They demonize these foods to make us scorn them. Well, I still got sardines in my thing. We don't eat beans, but I do have sardines still. The 30s will be a depression. Suggestions for sleep? Well, we saw an interesting thing from Dolores Cannon yesterday, and she said between 3 and 4 o'clock, if you're waking up like I do many nights, I mean, I sleep, my sleep is much better than it used to be. But there are nights when I wake up like this. My heart is racing, and so Dolores Cannon said that the spiritual forces are giving us an upgrade and moving us into 5 dimension, and changing our DNA into a crystalline, changing our bodies into a crystalline structure. But in terms of sleep, honestly, at this point, I take a sip of kefir, because my father told me. I mean, he said warm milk, and Norman reminded me of this, like a little warm milk and honey. I don't take the time to warm it up, but I take a little nip of kefir before I go to bed. And if I find myself up during the night, I'll drink a little kefir. And there's nothing wrong with lying in bed fully conscious, in my opinion, and you can actually get a lot done in terms of planning. Especially like for me, I make all my architectural decisions during the night when I'm awake, lying in bed. I figure things out, or things are figured out for me. Yeah, there's a lot of, just pay attention to the thoughts that flash into your mind, because they got your back, man. And if you have a real question about how to do something, like I have there's an architectural detail that I've been considering for the last couple days. I'm not quite happy where a certain support point is resting in the middle of a window, which is not a good place for support. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to deal with this situation. This is what happens when you don't plan. But I'm sure whatever it is that I come up with will make the house that much more interesting and unique. The Air Quality Act. Yeah, it could just happen suddenly. It just came out. Legislation to end chemtrail. Yeah, right. But like I said, I didn't see chemtrails today. The clouds were fluffy and beautiful. It was cold as the wind was really whipping today, but it was fine. It was beautiful to see the sky again with big fluffy clouds. It could happen suddenly. They're saying 6 o'clock in the morning, all the banks are going to switch to XRP. It's not just that the XRP holders are going to be wealthy. It's just that the banksters will be out of business. The Fed will be dead, because everyone will be switching over to a reliable currency, which is XRP and XLM. And this has been the plan. I'm sure this has been the plan all along. It's just a matter of time. Contact your senator and representative. Yeah, that's good, Mary. I like that. Keep your action. By the way, I didn't put on the Republic. Join the Republic. Make sure they need us. The White Hats are waiting till we have a certain amount of people, 30,000 per state, and all the officers will be filled in the states. I think there are 8 per state, and hopefully all the counties will be filled as well. But good problems solving happens at night. Yeah, I think so. That's what it is for me. It came out yeah, all these things could happen suddenly and splendidly. And I personally haven't been a big proponent of the idea of the EBS. I think that would be a lousy way to end this this info war. To just like, okay, it's over. This is what really happened. It has to flow naturally. It has to be believable. Terence McKenna said that that at the end of an age, everything looks really chaotic when a species is about to ascend to another level. And I trust Terence McKenna. I mean, he's been in places that I spent a lot of time in certain mind environments, but he did it a lot more than I did. So yeah, snowing in Sierra Nevada. Wow, brr. Yeah, it's pretty chilly up here. All right, so I think we're heading for the promised land. I'm going to play our a different song tonight. Let's put this to rest. I'm going to play "Language of the Heart." I think we're coming to a point of where we're just going to nudge ourselves gently into the ascended through the ascension portal and just come out. We're not going to spend a lot of time gnashing our teeth about how evil. We've been doing that for years. We don't need to, the normies need to go through that's part of the mourning process. They need to go through a little bit of anger and a little bit of grief. But we've really, I think most of us on the channel have been well acclimated with those processes. The wind is picking up. Okay, so let's just play this tune, and I think this is kind of in the mood of what we're feeling right now. Okay. Oh, I can't do it that way. Okay, let me do it a slightly different way. Where'd it go? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. In the courtyard, I surrender on the street. I surrender my ambitions and the ways of deceit. Sweet surrender, language of the heart. Sweet, sweet surrender, language of the heart. I surrender to our new love on any path it takes. In the beauty of this moment, there are no mistakes. Sweet surrender, language of the heart. Sweet, sweet surrender, language of the heart. We all need to come together around the language of the heart. We all need to come together around the language of the heart. It's an easy decision, don't you know you're a musician? We all need to sing together around the language of the heart. Love is a river, fear is a stone that I skip across the water on my gentle journey home. Sweet journey home, sweet journey home, sweet, sweet journey home, sweet journey home. We all need to come together together round the language of the heart. It's an easy decision, don't you know you're a musician? We all need to be together, we all need to sing together, we all need to dance together round the language of the heart. We all need to feel together, we all need to dream together, we all need to know together the language of the heart. Okay, so I hopefully that won't continue with another. Yeah, okay, take this down. Yeah, thanks, Maria. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to donate, you could. My bank accounts are all screwed up, but you could. Daniela has. I don't know if I put it up, but anyway, it's not necessary. I really believe me. I get so much out of this. Yeah, whatever. But I appreciate the thought. It's really sweet. I would rather see you guys get healthy with the X39 and the related LifeWave patches. But we got this, man. We are ready. We are primed and ready. And we've been talking about this for years. About, we slowly, it took us a while. We went through all these different changes on this channel. We went through the time when we were waiting for something to happen. We were saying next Friday and it's going to be this and as soon as this, and we went through all these cycles, and we got all excited, and we had each other, and we had each other's back, and we went through it. And then, recently we just sort of like, hey man, we've been doing this a long time. There's nothing really happening. It's all internal. It's all about ascension. It's all about us understanding that we create our reality. May the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. May source be with you. May you realize you are the source of creation, not a spark, not a, what's that mathematical word? Like a little smidge of, you're it. You're the one who decides for your reality, what it's going to look like, how it's, like Nancy says, she's such a kind, wonderful person, positive person. She only meets kind people. That's reality. That's the real reality. The reality that there's something out there and it's going to happen and all this. Well, there is also. I mean, the chemtrails could just die tomorrow. XRP could go to the moon tomorrow. It won't, even if you don't own XRP, it'll just mean that the banksters are out of business. If you're seeing Pepe Orsini, the Black Pope's face on it's over. They're done. The creeps are gone. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.